Hi everyone, welcome to this session. Today is February 20th, and this session is actually intended. I know I sent a message earlier, and I know that not everybody can attend it, so it's going to be recorded. And the plan is that if it was communicated actually that if you cannot attend the live session, you have to watch the recording. So this recording is going to be posted to Canvas later today. So I'm hoping that everybody will get on board as soon as you can. And the task is twofold. First of all, is the new kind of assignments that we have in here. And one of the biggest assignments, so there are two. So the first discussion is overall new assignments. And the second point is that there is a specific focus is going to be on the projects. So I know I have the two sessions also joined because this is happening for both of you guys. So I want to make sure that this is communicated to all the everyone who's in the class. So let me share with you the screen. So let me share the screen so that we are on the same page. Hi, Eric, you can turn off the sound if you don't mind. Okay, thank you. Oops. Okay, thanks. Anyway, so let me share the screen so that we understand basically what we have to do today. So let me go to, first of all, if I make sure I am on this right page, I found it. So let me go and share it now. Where is the share? Share. And it's this application. Eric, were you trying to say something? Okay, good. No problem. Anyway, so let me go back and share that screen to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, so basically, what we have in here, I have at least a typical one of the two sections actually, and it's similar to the other one for the most part, because you guys touch it at different times, so there is kind of a little bit of a kind of a different timing on things. But the projects are the same, and this is the focus today. It's actually going to be the projects. The other one also is this review for the exam, which is very important. So if I were taking this class, and you guys saw the syllabus, how this class is structured, by far, the thing that has the most impact on your grade is going to be the midterms. There are three of them. This is the first one. So this takes precedence over anything else. Okay, this is the most important thing in this class in terms of to making sure that you get your grade situated where you want it to be. Three midterms. This is not the midterm though, and that's really the biggest warning. And some people sometimes they fall into this trap thinking that they did the review, therefore they're done. They're off the hook. This is not the midterm. This is just a preparation for the actual midterm, which is going to happen next week. Okay, so that you know. So I think next week or the week after. It should be posted in there. So this is due on the 26th. So that means the 27th is actually when the midterm is. For this section, the other section is slightly off by another week. So, and I know it's open also for the other section. So both of you guys need to understand that this takes precedence over anything else, over all the other stuff that is happening in the class in terms of discussions, in terms of homework assignments, in terms of quizzes, and in terms of projects. This is a point where we need to stop and reflect on how much things we did so far and to move forward. So this is really a very important thing from this very important stage in the course. Okay, so let me discuss some of the things, first of all, as I was saying, that are not that important. Relatively speaking, they are important. I mean, of course, if you want to get an A, midterms will not do it by themselves. You really need more than that. Okay, so you have to understand that. So midterms are just to make sure that you ensure the passing grade, but you still need to do all of the other things to pass the grade with the grade that you really deserve, not the one that the absolute minimum. So there are, of course, the typical stuff for the discussions and things that are happening, and hopefully you guys now got the hang of it. In addition to that, there are these things which are homework. There is already homework from previous weeks, and there are homework that are going to be popping up all the time. And one of you guys yesterday, actually in the lab, who was taking this class, asked me a question about one of the homework assignments. So I asked, because the priority today is the midterm, to delay or defer that discussion for later on. But just an FYI, so that you know, there are resources on Canvas that are not probably available immediately, but they're going to be made available when time comes. Okay, and those usually are kind of this link in here for homework one. What they are actually resources on my YouTube channel that I link them there for specifically for that homework. We'll go in detail about that homework. So you go through it. The point is not, again, for you to, this is not an exam. This is so that you understand how these things are done. And more importantly, once you know how that, the thing is retained. One of the assignments in here, I don't know if it's homework 2 or homework 3. Let me open it. That's not the one. Oops, I in the wrong link. By the way, I'm looking at it from your perspective too as a student, so that we have the same. Is this assignment? No, I think it's probably the first homework assignment. Let me go back into it. What I'm trying to say in here is that there are resources available for you on my YouTube channel, but then if you wait long enough in here, you're going to see them actually on Canvas too. So it's not like you have to really go into the channel and start looking around. There are hundreds of videos in there. Some of them, or a lot of them, actually not relevant to you guys. So it's probably, unless you put specifically in the topic homework 1 in astronomy, so most likely you're going to have no problem with it. So this is one of the questions actually that came yesterday about the total eclipse that's going to happen in Africa, sometime in North Africa, actually on August 2nd, 2027, which is next year. I mean, 2 years from today, I'm sorry. So in 2 years in North Africa and Southern Europe, there will be an earthquake. But there is a method that was used by the Mayans, which is a 6,585 day and 8-hour difference. You can use that method to find when the next solar eclipse is going to happen. Obviously, you can do that. You can do the math, or that's not the point of the math. Or you can go back to this link that I provide for that homework assignment, and it's going to open a kind of a new page with the YouTube channel, and you go through it in detail to do that assignment. So it's going to discuss the exact assignment. This is only 16-minute long video, so hopefully you guys can go through that. Now, if this is not helpful in the sense that this is not enough, then please reach out and let's discuss that to make sure that the homework assignments are all done. Because granted, a single homework is not really going to make a big difference in terms of your grade. But the point that we're missing in this case is the fact that these are supposed to be a reinforcement for you guys to learn your class. So it's really important to really understand on how to do those homeworks. Again, that's not like an exam. So you're not really in a closed environment where you're supposed to come up with the answers. So you can consult the resources, you can look at the book, you can ask me, you can look at the videos. The point being in here, you need to know how it's done so that to understand better the material. So this is one thing. And of course, like I said, more of these assignments are popping up like this 2 homework assignments in here. And the grading is different, actually. For example, if you see homework 1 is graded differently than the other 2 homework assignments. and the due dates are way back in April for this too. So we still have a long time to go, and this is in March. So this is coming soon. That's why your resources are available for you guys here. March 15th is not soon, so that you know, we still are in February. But it should be something that you start planning for. Um, anyway, so that's for the homework assignment. We discussed the discussions, and a lot of you are really are into it right now. And we also have quizzes, and quizzes are self-explanatory. And the purpose of the quiz, honestly, is actually to prepare you also for the exam, because you have multiple attempts at them, and you can go through them and hopefully understand the content and do them right. And again, their weight overall is weak in a sense. They don't impact your grade overall that much, but they impact in a sense they prepare you for the midterm. So if you do those well and you focus on them, that should really give you a step forward to your midterm to do extremely well in it. And that's the purpose of the whole thing. It's really preparing you there. In addition to that, you have this review, which is really focused just on that, okay? It has 83 questions, as you can clearly see from here, because each question has 1 point. But it doesn't matter how many questions you get right. You're going to get the full credit if you do it. Now, if you don't do the review, you're not going to get the credit for it. This is also going to your participation just as much as the discussions and all of the other things. So this is like a 3 points. You get them just by trying. So if you try the review, and let's say you score 1 out of 83, or 2 out of 83, or I don't know, you get 17 questions correct and the rest is wrong. Uh, it doesn't matter. You're going to get all of the 83 points. You get 100% in it, because the purpose of it is just to help you prepare for the exam so that you actually prepare for it. So what you're telling me is that you're taking this class seriously and you're doing everything it takes to make sure you pass the midterm. So when the midterm comes in, you will have your grade there. So that's a different story. So I really want to emphasize on this point. Unfortunately, there are some who probably don't watch the entire video all the way through to get the message, and they don't read the messages that I send, and they still kind of thinking, okay, I got 100% at the midterm one, but they missed that part that says review. So they didn't do midterm one. They just got the 100% in a review, which is going toward your participation. You don't do the midterm, your grade is going to be impacted a lot. Okay, you may not pass the class. So it's very, very important to take this review seriously, not because of its value as a point in your overall grade, but in terms of its value to prepare you for the actual big thing that is coming after it, which is the midterm. So I'm hoping that everybody understands this point in here and they're ready to do this. I know for both sections, and I emphasize on this a lot. Unfortunately, toward the end, I will have somebody who just finally wakes up toward the end, was very busy with other things going on in life, and they do happen. I'm not disputing that, but you can't really learn a thing just toward the end of the semester and you decide, you know what, I want to learn all the material now and pass this class. It's not going to work. So if you see yourself missing midterm one, missing midterm two, you might as well at that point drop the class because you're not ready for it. You're not going to learn from it. I mean, first of all, you're not going to pass it. And just trying to patch things toward the end, it's not going to work. So this is like a regular class. You're sitting in a class that meets twice a week on campus. You're expected to be twice a week on campus. If you miss that twice a week on campus and you miss the in-class assignments and you miss the exams in person, coming to the final is not going to help you. It's going to really just a waste of time for yourself and a waste of money because you're paying for this class after all. So you really don't want to do that, okay? So that's the biggest point I want to emphasize on. I know they will be following up with messages to everybody, and I know a lot of you guys are going to probably think that what yeah, kind of repeating the same message again and again, but this repetition is really not going towards you, but it's going toward the few people who at the end like I said, they either miss the entire video, they don't watch it, just part of it, they don't get the message from the video, and they still don't read the messages I send. And at the end, they start to ask, is there something I can do to make up for the class? Unfortunately, it would be too late then, and I'm sorry I can't do anything at that. So this is, I hope that I drove the point in here. But the other thing that is coming along is these two projects, okay? Now, having two projects, you're not required to do both of them. You're required to only do one of them. As a matter of fact, it says in here, choose one, okay? So either you do the lunar observation project, which is a 4-week observation, or you do lunar photography. So this is a 4-week. Each week is at most probably 10, 15 minutes of observation. This is a little bit more time consuming in terms of work, but it's actually one day. So one night actually you can go out and take care of it. Because you're going to take a picture of the moon and you're going to ensure to identify the features on the moon. So you have to choose the right night when the moon is full moon. And then you also, the picture probably can be, could be low resolution or high resolution or too exposed or underexposed. So you might need to adjust your settings on the phone or whatever device you're using to do the photography. So this one requires a little bit of work on a given time when you're going to go and take your project. But these ones are just going and reporting the findings. It happens actually a lot often, more than actually 4 times is going to be 4 weeks. And during that week, you're going to record the information and sketch the observation and move on. So let me click on one of them. Again, I hope that you guys understand that you're doing only one of these two. You're not required to do both, okay? You're required only to do one, okay? And if you do submit both of them, you have to tell me explicitly which one to grade. Otherwise, I'm going to grade the first one I see, okay? And that might not be the one that you want. Because grading these things is really time consuming. And it's going to be really hard for me, honestly, to grade. I have roughly about 75 students for both sections. 75 times 2, so there's going to be 150 projects. That's too much. So I'm going to be grading only 75 projects, and that's it. So please do submit only one, okay, just to make sure to make it easy on yourself and me. But if you do two of them, which you have the freedom to do, especially since if you enjoy this class a lot, so probably you would want to do that anyway, but only submit one of them. Or if you do, tell me which one you wanted to be graded. Which one do you think is really the one that you want to have your grade going towards it? So that's why there is this thing in here, please choose one. So let's pick up one of them, the first one, which is the lunar observation. This is the one that is about 4 weeks of observation, okay? It's graded out of 34 points. And if you look down, you will see how it's graded actually. So you can tell how you're going to, what you're going to do to get all of your points, okay, for everything in here. There are questions that needs to be answered, and each question is worth a point, okay? And you move on with your observations. Each observation also has a total points, and you continue including all the way to the conclusion. So there is a rubric in here. So it's not like in the dark, you don't know how you're going to be graded. Is this more important than the other, or is this, if I forgot this one was going to happen to my grade? No, it's everything is self included. So you're not going to really be surprised at the end. So for example, if you forget the conclusion or observation 4, you know you're going to be losing 5 points in there. Okay, or 5 points in here. So you know exactly what your grade is. So I hope that you don't do that, that you go through systematically through the project and also take the rubric into consideration when you're compiling your project. The project itself has some two parts really to it. So you can go through this instructions in here. Don't go by these dates, by the way. These dates are from last year. Go by the dates inside the PDF, and they are here, okay? So I'm going to open the lunar project. So it says in here, choose either this project or the lunar photography project. This is not the lunar photography project. This is the lunar observation project. So you choose either the lunar observation product or the other one, which is the photography. So let's say, for example, I want I will have to do the lab report. There are two ways of doing it. Either I use the form or I use the PDF. Okay. This is the PDF still, but it's a form, meaning I can fill it. Okay. Honestly, I like this one myself because it keeps things organized. You can skip this and you can skip that too. And you can do your own report using Word or whatever you prefer to use. But this one, if I click on it, so let me see if I can download it. It's very important to download it actually, okay? Uh, because if you do, so let me save as, and let me choose a place for where I'm going to save it. So this is the folder. So I'm going to create a new folder in here. Folder. Okay, so this is a project. So I'm going to call it project in here. Okay. If you have a Mac, it's similar. It's not that different. Okay. So okay, I saved it on my computer. Let me browse to it. Okay. So I'm going to browse to it. Where is she? This one. I'm going to go to the folder where I put it, and it's in there. So let me make sure I have it. So once you download something, make sure you know where you downloaded it, so that you can go and open it. So I'm gonna open it first because I don't know how to share this thing in here. So I'm gonna open it and then share with you guys how it looks like once it's open. I don't know. Do you guys see it or not? If you don't, then let me stop sharing because it looks like there is something wrong with the sharing. So let me go and share again. Okay, thank you. Let me go back in here and let me make sure that I have it open and share. Now, do you see the PDF file? Should. Can one of you guys confirm? Okay, I see a chat in here. Okay, very good. Thank you. So basically, this is how it looks like, okay, when you open it. Please, when you open it with Adobe Reader. Do not try to open it with something else. If you open it with Acrobat or, I mean, not Acrobat, I mean, with Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or Firefox or any other browser, sometimes it doesn't look as right. So it's probably a good idea to open it with your with your Adobe Reader, which is a free software which you can download on your computer. Make sure you download it just from the source, which is Adobe, the company that's in here. So, actually in Northern California, here, San Francisco. It's a big company. They make Photoshop, they make all kinds of things. So, the first thing I'm going to do in here, if I'm doing this project, so I'm going to write my name. Okay. And this will save my name on every single page in here. Okay. So I have it in here. Okay. And then I'm going to read the instructions. And as I am reading the instructions, it tells me in here which side of the moon. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to read this and I choose, it's telling me basically, is this picture corresponds to A, B, C, D, or E? Okay. If I think it's B, I'm going to come in here and say the answer is B because so and so. And then it's asking me, since you excluded A and C and D and E, tell me, so this is how A would look like. And then you draw a chat. You can draw it actually by hand on a piece of paper, and then take a picture of it, and then you browse to find it. Okay, so let me browse for some stuff in here. So once you find it, let's say this is it. Okay, I don't think it is, but this is my drawing. Okay, come on. So it's going to scale. So this is basically what I did by hand. Let's say, for example, you're telling me A, this is how A would look like. So basically, after you answer the question and you think the correct answer is one of this, and I said it's B, okay, it may not be B, so you guys need to think hard about this question first, okay, before you take my word for it, okay? So you say the answer is B because, and then you have to tell me why your reason is, okay? You can clearly see the moon is lit on one side and is dark on the other, and the terminator line in here makes this crescent. So why do you think it is? So the crescent, this is the position of the sun, this is the position of the earth. And after I answer that, then I come in here and I tell you what A would look like. Since B I already did it, so what C would look like, what D would look like, and what E would look like from this diagram. Okay, it's going to be full moon, it's going to be quarter moon, it's going to be crescent, pointing which way, east or west, depending on what you think. Okay, so that takes care of this part. So this is the first part, is just on how to identify the phase of the moon and which side the part is lit and so on and so forth. Okay, then. And if you have any difficulty with this one, please let me know, or you can actually read the book, okay? You can read the units related to this one. It's actually part of the lecture too. So now, this comes the observation. On March 13th of the year 2025, which is about less than a month from now, okay? Mid-March, really, okay? Not specifically on that date, around that date. So it could be March 12th, it could be March 14th, okay? It could be March 13th. So around that day, give or take 1 day or more, okay? You're going to go a night before. Let's say, for example, on the 12th, they go out and look for the moon. I don't see it. I couldn't find it. See, look east, north, south. I didn't see the moon at all, okay? I went around 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I had to go to sleep, okay? Forget about it. Then I didn't see it. Then in the morning, I tried to wake up early, try to see the moon, okay? Then I probably will see it either in the east or the west, depending on where it is, okay? If it's still, sometimes you can even see it during daytime, around 9 a.m., 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, you can still see the moon. So you really don't have to wake up that early. So if I do see it, this is called the night where you prepare for your actual observation. So at this point, I document it in my notes, how it looks like, where did I see it, and wait for the actual observation on the 13th. Since I know when it's going to be roughly, is it going to be in the morning, or is it going to be in the afternoon, or the evening, or when? Then I can plan my next observation correctly, which is the 13th, and I'm done with this part. Of course, I need to draw it, and again upload it to Canvas. Upload it to to this file. Okay. So in a similar fashion, okay, in the same way. I mean, you have to browse, click in here, it will tell you browse. Once you browse, you're going to go to where you place the picture, okay, and you put it in there, okay. It's going to adjust its size and so on and so forth, and you say that. So again, this is something that pictures on my computer. On your computer, you'll probably have to take pictures of the hand-drawn shape of the moon, and then you're going to upload it in here in a similar fashion. What happens if you don't see it on the night before the 13th, and you actually don't see it on the 13th? The night before the 13th, it was a cloudy day, for example. There was no way I could see anything. There were too much clouds in the sky. So in this case, I have to use the 13th as to spot the moon, and actually the 14th. So if it's also cloudy on the 13th, or I can't see it for some reason or the other, then in this case, I have to postpone it to the 14th. So that's why it says on or around the 13th of March, because there is a possibility that you can do it on that day. So in this case, I document my observations and move on, okay? Now, if it's not cloudy, if the sky is clear, and I don't see the moon in the evening, or early in the morning, or during daytime, I don't see it anywhere, okay? Then based on the previous week observation, if the previous week was actually a quarter moon, a third quarter, then most likely this is going to be the new moon. Or if I don't see it, and then the next week when I go and look at it, it's going to be a quarter, the first quarter. So I knew that observation actually happened on the new moon. So there is a possible potential where you don't see it because it's a new moon. even though the sky is clear and there is no clouds whatsoever, or if there is, they shouldn't impede the observation. So in a sense, this is what you need to, and then you move on to March 22nd, which is about a week later. And then after that on March 29th, which is about a week later, and April 4th, which is about a week after that one. And once I am done, I will document basically all of my observations, put them in there. In the conclusion, you talk about the project, the different phases of the moon, and if you're into some issues, especially if it's cloudy, if you get some problems, and that's when you discuss these things. And hopefully, the takeaway from this one is that you'll be able to track the moon, especially in terms of the position of the sun and the earth and the moon, and which way the lit part is and the not lit part is. Okay, so this is one project. Okay, so let me stop sharing. This requires this much time actually to prepare. The actual report is not really that time consuming. Okay, and it's due on April 12th. Both projects are due on April 12th, so that you know. So let me go back into Canvas. And let's say I don't want to do this project. This is too much. I don't have that much time to go on every night and so on and so forth and do these observations, which honestly you should do not as an assignment, but as an activity. I mean, you can get your family members involved, I mean, siblings or friends or something, and it's really a fun thing to do. Anyway, so oh, this is due April 19th. I'm sorry, it's April 19th when it's due. Or is it due April 12th? I thought this is April 12th, but I will make sure that you have enough time to do. Because the last observation is in April, so you should have plenty of time to submit your lab report. So let's go back in here. Let's verify this thing in here. So both projects, as I mentioned before, are due actually April 12th. Okay. April 19th is when it's going to be graded. So really, you can do it on the 12th. You should be able to get it on the by then. Okay, that's your last chance, really, honestly, to uh, to prepare for it. So let me find it. Where did I put it? Yeah, the last observation is around April 4th. From April 4th to April 12th, plenty of time for you guys to submit your submit your report. So let me go to where I was. I lost track of. Are we on this page in here where it shows the project? Yes. Lunar Observation Project. Because if I'm doing this, okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Anyway, so it's in here actually. It says the due date in here. It's due Saturday, April 12th at 11 p.m. This is by this date in here. It's a week later. You really have like a leeway in order for you to to submit it. But please try to observe the deadline. Okay. Anyway, so let's say, for example, you want to do the other projects. I'm clicking on it now. It looks similar, actually. The instructions look similar, except that it has different things that are related to it. And again, this is the rubric. This is how you're going to be graded. So again, you're going to have, I don't remember how many points in here total, but it's like 32 points or something. Yeah, 32 points possible in here. So if I click on that, on the same PDF file, on a different PDF file, so let me save this file on my computer. So I saved it. So note also the same thing in here. It's available. It's due on the same time, April 12th, 2025. And it's again, you have about a week leeway for you guys to submit your thing in here. So let me open it again, and I'm going to share it with you guys. So let me once it opens. So let me stop sharing that page. Now I'll share with you the other projects. Share. Okay. In terms of the formality is the same in terms of filling stuff and doing things. So it's going to be the same thing. And you're going to answer questions related to the full moon and the new moon. So it's all related to the phases, whether this project or the other one. And it tells you in here what you're going to do. You're going to do an observation, and when you're going, so you're going to tell me when you're going to do your observation, or when did you do your observation in this case, and the time, and was it the time AM or PM? And answer the question, the phase of the moon, how the moon look like. Try to pick it either as a full moon or a gibbous, where most of the moon is lit. Don't do it when it's a crescent or a new moon or even a quarter moon. Try to do it so that you see as much features as you can on the moon, okay? And a gibbous would be perfect, honestly, better than the full moon. Gibbous is where the most of the moon is lit and only part of it that is not, okay? So we're going to answer questions about the non-lit part in here and how it looks like. And then you're going to upload your picture in the same fashion, but this time you take a picture with your camera, okay? You could have a camera, you could have your phone. The picture, you will notice the first time when you take it, it's either blurry, there is not details whatsoever in it. So you really need to adjust the exposure time on your phone to fix that. So it has to be so you need to know a little bit about photography, okay? So you adjust the exposure to stay open for a little more so that it doesn't blur. But then it could be overexposed. In a sense, it would be too bright. I mean, you can see no detail whatsoever in it. And again, in that case, you probably need to adjust the lighting again on the phone. So you really try to do your best, okay? To get the picture as close as possible to what you visually see with your own eye, okay? Obviously, you're going to compare to see the features that you see and compare the positions. And here is a chart that helps you. Try to tell me as much as you can which objects did you identify from the moon. Were you able to see the craters? Tycho crater, which is the biggest feature in the southern southern hemisphere of the moon. Were you able to see any other features in here that you can identify? And you report those two in your report. So this project is kind of easy a little bit, but it requires some documentation as you're looking at the moon and you see, okay, I saw this feature, I saw that feature, I saw that feature. I'm looking for several of them. I'm not looking for a specific number in here, but I'm expecting at least you see 5 to 10 features from the surface of the moon that you can identify. Okay, so it's really time consuming, especially adjusting that camera and trying to get a good picture because you're going to upload it to your computer and do the same thing right as we did with the other project. So I'm going to go and browse and found the picture that I think I took. And this is probably the picture I took. Of course, this is not. I mean, I'm just showing you an example on how this could look like. Come on, open. Oh, I did not click on it. So the computer will adjust, and I think, I don't know, it's still adjusting. And then you say, okay. So that's probably the picture I took of. That's not the moon, by the way. So you guys know that. Anyway, the point being in here is this is how you are going to do these projects. The purpose of this project is, first of all, you learn about the backyard astronomy by doing observations and looking at stuff that are in the solar system without any tools. I mean, I don't expect you to have any telescope at home or even binoculars. If you do, that would be great, okay? But with your eye, you can do all of these projects. I mean, with the simple tools like a regular phone and a or a small camera or something like that, you should be able to do a lot of these things and also document what you're looking at, document your observations, which is part of the scientific method. And I know a lot of you are not science majors, but so that you get an appreciation of what scientists do. So this is part of the objectives of this project. And remember, you're going to tell me what you learned, what you did, and so on and so forth. So that's part of the stuff that is needed in here. And the other thing also is to have fun, basically to go out, and so that you can next time enjoy your company. If you have family or friends or something, you can at least enjoy the night. Okay, so that's actually a personal thing you take away. I do that all the time, and I like to see things. I mean, we are in a city, so light pollution in here, I mean, wreaks havoc on everything we do. But if you can basically, especially the moon, there is no problem with it. You can see stuff for it related to it. Okay. So this is what I had in mind for these two projects, what I had in mind for the exam, for the midterm, and also for the projects. For homework assignments 2 and 3, there is a review that there is actually a resource that is opening up soon. But if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to send them over, okay? Sounds good? Okay, thank you. Any question, anybody? Okay, I'm sure you probably, thank you, Eric. And I'm sure you guys are going to come up with stuff down the road, and I expect that anyway. So, Ricardo, do you have any question? No? No problem.
No,
So,
thank you.
okay, no problem. No problem. Anyway, so if you guys have anything down the road, I really hope to. The only way that this class can be made better is by your questions, so that you guys know. Okay. And the more you engage to it, the more you see things that you probably need to explore further and have questions about. So that's the only thing makes it better. So I expect you guys to send those things over and or put them in the discussions, and we'll make it better. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording, and I will hear from you guys. Thank you. Thank you.